take a quick shot here, and hopefully I can show you how light.
All right, welcome back to the channel.
The difference it would make if you shot this and there was no light at all.
And as you can hear, I've been listening to Nigel Danson, my YouTube go-to guy. I love watching his channel. I'll link it down below, along with Thomas Heaton and a few other of the YouTube famous photographer YouTubers. So instead of watching TV, I'm usually just watching the YouTube. And today I'm on the road again, as always. You can see the trees whizzing by. I'm heading to Port Townsend to work on my boat. Trying to get it back in the water since it's been out for 5 years already. And the Pacific Northwest has wreaked havoc on it. And I just had a big brunch, so I'm a little choked up. So what I'm actually doing is I'm testing out my GoPro, whichever one this is, 10 I think, with a LavMic attached to the camera via it's like a little receiver with a patch cord, and it's attached to the back of the camera on the GoPro media kit. And I've done a video on that before, but I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like in the rearview mirror here. Let's see, I think you can maybe see it. But that's what I'm doing right now, testing that out to see if this is actually going to work with the GoPro, which I hope it does. I've tried vlogging with my X-T4, my Fujifilm, and it's just too big and bulky and heavy. It does work most of the time, and the other thing is the focus on it. I'm just not happy with the focus. It's always hunting. I keep messing around with the different settings. I go online and take the advice of other people that have the XT line of cameras and the X-T4, how to set up the autofocus, and just not happy with it. In fact, I'm considering selling all my Fuji gear and maybe going back to Nikon. That's what I had before, my Fuji. The Z line or the Z line over here in the States, I hear so many good things about it, and the ergonomics and things like that are just some of the things I miss about it. I like my X-T2 and my X-T4, but there's just some of those things that right out the gate I wasn't too fond of, like the focus. I want a focus ring that when you rack it to infinity, it's at infinity. The Fuji, the focus ring just keeps on going and going and going, and you got to fiddle with it to try and find infinity. And to me, that's just annoying big time. All the buttons, knobs, and dials up on the top of a Fuji X-T2, 3, 4, 5 now are the old command dials, like the old school, which is fine, but at nighttime, it's a major pain in the butt. So to me, that's not a big selling point anymore, that retro look. I don't mind looking at a little LCD screen that has a backlight, and you can change the numbers that way with the front and back dials. I didn't mind that at all. I just switched from the Nikon to the Fuji because back then the mirrorless were just taking off, and I didn't want to carry all that Nikon gear. Everything was heavy. The camera was heavy, the lenses were heavy, the tripod had to be heavier, so I scaled back in size to the Fujifilm X-T2, and I loved carrying it. Going hiking and stuff, I had the 20, the kit lens and a 55 to 200 zoom. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to do portrait work, so I'm going to also buy the 58 millimeter 1.2. But that lens is like super slow focus with the XT2. It's so-so with the XT4. And then I also bought a super wide angle manual focus, I think it's like a 1.2, and that was for at night and just super wide angle stuff. And it wasn't too expensive. Rokinon, I think it is. But I'm to the point where my Fuji XT2 has taken a beating over the years. The XT4 is a couple of years old, and I'm looking at replacing the lenses. So if I'm going to do that, I'm looking at the XT5 as the body. And to me, I could buy another whole system of the Nikon, a body, probably 2 lenses, and be happy. I don't know. I still have to put one in my hands. I haven't actually touched one, so I need to find a camera store that has them in stock. Go and do that, or see if I can rent like a Z7 or Z6. Then the Canon R8, I think, is the newer one. It sounds like a pretty good deal too. The Sonys are nice. Apparently they're up in their game even more. So, who knows? We'll see. But right now, the camera is down there in the camera bag, sitting on the floor in the car, but the camera itself, my XT4, sitting on the always available, ready to go. And I actually took it flying yesterday when I went down to Kelso. I drove to Kelso, picked up a helicopter, and flew it back to Coopville, up by Whidbey Island, and then over to Port Angeles. So I took a few shots with that as I was flying. But anyway, okay, that's enough chatting, because I'm not even sure if this thing is working or not. It's probably going to be either sounds awesome or no sound at all. So I will talk to you later. Let's see how this thing turns out. Whoa, hello.